The message arrived at 2:11 in the morning. Daniel noticed it only because sleep had abandoned him again. The apartment was silent, except for the distant hum of traffic and the ticking of the cheap clock on the wall. He lay on the couch staring at the ceiling, his phone resting on his chest, when the screen suddenly lit up. Unknown number, no text, just a link. He frowned. Spam messages were common, but something about the quiet hour made it feel different. The blue glow of the screen reflected in his tired eyes as he stared at the strange message. For a moment he almost ignored it. Then curiosity won. He tapped the link. A video opened. The screen was black at first, then slowly brightened. A man appeared sitting on a park bench. The quality looked old, grainy, like something recorded years ago. The man looked tired. His hair was messy, his face unshaven. His eyes held the kind of exhaustion that comes from carrying something heavy inside for too long. Daniel froze, because the man on the screen was him. Not exactly him, but close enough that his heart began beating faster. The man in the video looked a little older, maybe 10 years older. Daniel laughed nervously. "This is stupid," he muttered to the empty apartment. But he kept watching. The older version of him leaned forward and spoke directly to the camera. "If you're watching this, then it means you finally clicked the link." Daniel sat upright. The voice was unmistakable. His voice. The man in the video rubbed his hands together slowly, like someone trying to gather courage. "I know you're confused," he said. "You should be. I was too." Daniel's throat felt dry. The man continued. "Right now it's 2:11 a.m. You're lying on that old gray couch in your tiny apartment. You haven't slept properly in weeks." Daniel's eyes widened. "You lost your job 3 months ago," the man went on quietly. "You keep telling people you're fine, but you're not. You feel like your life stopped moving while everyone else kept going." Daniel whispered, "What the hell?" The man on the screen looked straight into the camera with a sad understanding. "I remember exactly how it feels, because I am you." Silence filled the room. Daniel's heartbeat thudded loudly in his ears. "This video isn't a joke," the man said softly. "And it isn't fake. I know you think someone is playing a trick on you, but listen carefully." Daniel leaned closer to the phone without realizing it. "Tomorrow morning," the man said, "you're going to get an email offering you a job interview." Daniel blinked. "You won't want to go. You'll think it's pointless. The company is small. The salary is low. You'll almost delete the email." Daniel felt a strange chill crawl up his spine. "Don't delete it," the man said firmly. "Go to the interview." The man paused and smiled faintly. "That decision will change everything." Daniel shook his head slowly. "This is insane," he whispered. The man continued speaking, his tone growing heavier. "There are things I wish someone had told me earlier. Things about regret, about time." He looked away from the camera for a moment, as if remembering something painful. "You're angry right now," he said quietly. "At the world, at yourself. You think your life is already ruined." Daniel swallowed. "It's not," the man said. But it will be if you keep running away." The older version of him leaned closer. "Call Mom tomorrow." Daniel froze. The words hit him harder than anything else. "You haven't spoken to her in 4 months," the man continued gently. "You're still stubborn about that stupid argument." Daniel's eyes burned. "Call her." The man's voice cracked slightly. "Because one day you won't be able to." The room felt unbearably quiet. Daniel stared at the screen, unable to breathe. The man rubbed his eyes tiredly. "I'm not sending this video to change the world," he said softly. "I'm sending it to save you from my biggest regrets." Daniel felt a strange pressure in his chest. "Life isn't about big dramatic moments," the man said. "It's about the small choices you make when nobody is watching." He leaned back on the bench. The interview, a pause. "Call Mom." Another pause. "And when you meet the girl at the coffee shop tomorrow afternoon, don't pretend you're busy." Daniel blinked again. "You'll almost ignore her," the man said with a faint smile. "She'll ask if the seat next to you is free." Daniel whispered, "What girl?" The man chuckled softly.
"Her name is Emily."
The way he said the name carried warmth and something deeper. Something like love. The older Daniel sighed. "I wish I could explain everything." But if I did, you might change the wrong things. He looked directly into the camera again. So just trust me. His voice softened. You're stronger than you think. Daniel's eyes filled with tears for reasons he didn't fully understand. Right now you feel lost, the man said. But 10 years from now, you'll realize this was just the beginning. He smiled gently. And if you're wondering how I sent this video to you, he shrugged. I honestly still don't know. The screen flickered slightly, but somehow this message found its way back. The man stood up from the bench. For a moment, he simply looked into the camera with quiet emotion. Take the chance, he said. Then he added softly, and please, don't waste the time I wasted. The video ended. The screen went dark. Daniel sat frozen on the couch. The silence around him felt heavier now. He checked the message again. The link had disappeared. Only the empty chat remained. He refreshed the screen. Nothing. Daniel exhaled slowly. His mind raced with possibilities. Deepfakes, hackers, some kind of psychological trick. But the details, the couch, the argument with his mother, the exact time. He looked at the clock. 2:18 a.m. Daniel lay back against the couch, staring at the ceiling again. But this time something had shifted inside him. A small crack in the heavy wall of hopelessness he had built around himself. Morning arrived quietly. At 9:07 a.m., his phone buzzed. Daniel stared at the email notification. A job interview invitation, exactly as the video had said. He sat there for a long time. Then slowly, he stood up. The interview was awkward. The office was small and unimpressive. But the people were kind. For the first time in months, Daniel felt something unfamiliar. Possibility. Later that afternoon, he sat in a small coffee shop, replaying the strange night in his mind. The door opened. A girl walked in. She looked around before walking toward his table. Excuse me, she said gently. Is this seat taken? Daniel felt his heart skip. For a split second, the old version of himself almost said yes, almost looked down at his phone, almost avoided the moment. But instead he smiled. No, he said. It's free. She sat down. Thanks, I'm Emily. Daniel felt a quiet warmth spread through his chest. He thought about the tired man on the bench, about regret, about second chances, and for the first time in a long time, Daniel realized something simple and powerful. The future wasn't fixed, but sometimes it sends you a message when you need it most.